Hi, Adam. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good. I am ready to let everyone in whenever you are.
Fire when ready. Let me get, let's see here.
I'll give you a second too.
Let's see here. Let me share my screen. We'll share that. We'll go ahead and open up this puppy here. Oh, let's see here. Can I do this? How can I make this the whole screen? What's this do? Nope.
I think you can click those lines by the operate PDF, like the title, and that might, yeah.
Perfect.
Does that work?
Works for me.
All right.
Yep.
I'm going to let everyone in if you're all right.
I am ready. Let them in.
All right. We got 29 people.
Perfect. Let them all in. Please and thank you. So I'm going to move. Let's see. I'm going to move this over. Let's see here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hold on. Let me move some stuff around. Let's see here. Can you all still see? Operate like an entrepreneur. If you can, just give me a thumbs up, please. Can you see it? Hi, Joan. Okay, can everybody see my screen right here? Operate like an entrepreneur, or are you looking at something else? I want to make sure we're looking at the right ones. Joan, what do you see? Hold on, you're muted.
I see market
services.
Your services.
Okay, you see market or service. Okay, hold on 2 seconds here. Let me stop this. Stop the share. Let me go back to share again. There we go. All right, now can y'all see operate like an entrepreneur? We got it?
That's what I see.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it. Okay, everybody.
I finally unmuted.
Good job there. We are going to get started here. Let me open this all the way up so we can see it. Okay, perfect. There we go. We're going to talk today about operating like an entrepreneur. Are you a salesperson or are you a business person? I'm going to start this off by simply saying there is no right or wrong. So if you came to this, however long we're doing this, and saying, gosh, I hope I can say that I'm a business person because I don't want to be a salesperson, that's cool. But here's the thing, there's no right or wrong. If you're a salesperson, you're a salesperson, congratulations, accept it. If you're a business person, great, congratulations, accept it. The challenge that I will have for you is at the end, I want you to be able to determine I'm a business person or I'm a salesperson. And if I want to be a business person, this is how I transition. Are we all good on that expectation? We good there? Got it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let me just see. I see some fun names and some fun faces in here I haven't seen for a while. Okay, perfect. So let me get into this. Here are my expectations for today. I will describe who I am in a second. Then we're going to go into understand the definitions and differences between a salesperson and a business owner. What defines a good salesperson? The 11 essential sales skills every salesperson needs. We're going to define what a good business owner is and the 6 characteristics. I'm going to give you 5 leadership tools for a business owner, and then we have a freebie for the One Team members here. So that's what I have right there. I'd love for you all to go ahead in the chat, type in one thing that you want to get out of today. What is one simple thing in our time that when you walk away, you're like, that was incredible? Or thank you, now I can go be a business person or a salesperson. What is it? Let me watch this chat here. What do you want to get out of here? Go for it, go for it, go for it. And anything is acceptable. Higher leverage in a shifting market. Okay, we can talk about that. System for staying consistent. What defines a good business owner? How to structure my day. Good, these are awesome. Anything else? Okay, let's see here. Lisa, Kendra, oh, we got delegating. We're definitely going to talk about that, Caroline. Erica, we're going to talk about structure. Love it. Balance, sales, and being a good business owner. Love it. Structure, Sarah Weber, structure. Love it. Ensuring we are motivated. You guys, this is awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep that here off to the side. I'm going to come back to that from time to time as we go through this. Building referral network. Kendra, I don't know if we'll get into that one today, but everything else we will. Happy to talk to you offline about building a referral network. So who is Adam Roach? Well, this is going to be fun and simple. I'm a lover of all things water and travel. I love the ocean. I love boating. I love beaching it. I'm literally staring at the water out right now of my window. If you ever come to Charleston, South Carolina, come on into the I Love Coaching headquarters and you'll get to watch dolphins jump just like I do every single day. I'm a dad of two amazing kids, a 13, soon to be 14-year-old son and an 11, soon to be 12-year-old daughter. I'm an entrepreneur. I was born an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I was a tennis player real quick out of college. I went off to play what I called was a pseudo tennis tour, which I didn't last very long. Actually, I found out real quick I was an American, not a European, and was getting my butt kicked. I'm like, I'm out of this business. I don't like to lose. And I got into the tennis business in Los Angeles in Beverly Hills, and we built a company called Beverly Hills Tennis, and it still operates to this day. I'm just no longer a part of it. Successfully bought and sold 3 KW franchises, did that from the 2010-ish range to 2019, created a recruiting system called Recruiting Bridge and Exceed that to date has recruited over 140,000 agents all over the globe. We created a company here recently called the I Love Scheduling Company, and now we have the I Love Coaching Company. And here's our vision inside of my company right now is to empower coaches to change 100 million lives by using what we call our real coaching model, which is relevant, experiential, authentic leadership. And then sometime this August, I am going to tie the knot with an amazing woman that I'm excited about there. Okay, we're diving in. What is the difference between a salesperson and a business owner? Gang, I went straight to definitions here. As a coach all day long, I am constantly calling people out about, are you a business owner or are you a salesperson? And the neat part about that is there's no right or wrong, right? There's no right or wrong. Hey, Barb, I haven't seen Barb in a while. Hello, Barb. Okay, so let's define what a salesperson is. And this is straight a dictionary. I just Googled this. Selling products and services using solid arguments to prospective customers. Okay, so we got some scripts in there. Performing cost-benefit analysis of existing and potential customers and maintaining positive business relationships to ensure future sales. There's nothing right. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a salesperson, true definition. Let's go to a business person. A business owner is one person who is in control of the operations and the monetary aspects of a business. Any entity that produces and sells goods and services for a profit. So key word there is profit. If you notice in this sales portion, we didn't necessarily even talk about a profit. We talked about a product. We talked about understanding who our buyers and sellers are. And we talked about, well, just getting a deal done. The way I look at this is a salesperson is transactional. A business owner is all in the profit space. This is just my take on this, okay? I'm not the expert, but I will tell you, I have experience in this. And being a business owner, I'm sure many of you can agree that profit drives everything. Sales individual, fantastic. You are focused probably on revenue. There's nothing wrong with that. You're probably focused on the transactional aspect of a deal. So no right or wrong here. Based on this definition, let's have some fun. In the chat, I want you to type, what do you feel you are based on these definitions? Just give me sales and just give me business. Who are you? Where are you? What do you think? We got sales. We got two brave ones. Business, got it. Patty's sales, business, mostly sales, some business. I would agree with that. Business, good. Business, good. Laura Fox is in here. Hello, Laura Fox. Business, love it. Okay, good. Business, love it. So let's keep going then. What defines a good salesperson? Now, some of this I've created and some of this I pulled out of some research. So a good salesperson identifies and sticks to clients' needs and desires. You know what they want and when they want it. A good salesperson uses a measurable, repeatable sales process. If you're coaching with me, you'll hear me say this all the time. It's the same soup reheated. I know we would all agree, being in the real estate space for the most part here, real estate is transactional and it's the same soup reheated. Know your product and know your market. Boy, is there no better time than to know that right now. With the listing inventory where it is, with the market ever shifting, with our demand, if you know it, you know it. And if you don't, you need to know it. Review your pipeline objectively. So you know what your conversion rates are. You know what it takes to put someone in a pipeline, and you know what it takes to push someone out of the pipeline, again, in a positive way. I love this one. You find shortcuts and hacks, right? A good salesperson wants to get to the end of the transaction as fast as possible. I've been a real estate agent. I know what it means. I know what it feels like to want to call that lender and say, tell me they're approved right now. Tell me we can close right now. And they're like, no, you got 29 more days. Like, great. Practice active listening. This is one where I'm even coaching my coaches. We'll pause the salesperson for a second. An active listening, gang. If there's one thing you can take away from this, whether you're a business person or a salesperson, is are you a good listener, and how do you know? Right? How do you know you're a good listener? In my opinion, is you ask good questions, right? You ask questions based on the conversation that is happening in front of you. And the last thing a good salesperson is a darn good hard worker. All right, let's go into this. Let me close this chat. There we go. The essential 11 sales skills every salesperson should learn. I put this in here on purpose because I don't have a dog in this hunt as it relates to you being a salesperson or a business person. That's totally up to you. And it's totally cool what you decide to stay to. So I want to give some measurables here. The 11 sales skills every salesperson should know is number one, have empathy, right? It's always important to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoe, especially a salesperson. Right? You have to have that relationship with that individual that you are doing the transaction with. Again, talking about our marketplace right now, whether you're a business person or salesperson, if you're not out there building relationships, gang, right now, I've got my coaching hat on for a second. Hope you're okay with that. If you're not building a relationship with your database right now, it could get a little scary for you the next 12 to 24 months. Your job right now is to build relationships, have empathy with people, and talk to them. Number two, emotional intelligence. Do you know how they feel? Perceiving emotion, using emotion, understanding emotion, and then managing emotion. When I was typing this out, when I was building this, I was laughing at managing emotions. Because how well do we manage our own emotions, and how are we doing managing our clients' emotions right now, right? I'm laughing. I know it's serious, though. These are the emotional intelligence that every salesperson should understand. Let's go into active listening, right? We just talked about that. Can you create gaps with questions? Can you create gaps with questions? What does that mean, Adam? That literally means, can you help someone understand where they are right now and where they want to go? And everything in the middle there is the gap, right? If you are in the relationship game, you create the gaps and you then fill it in with your value. Okay, that's the gap. Let's go into effective communication. Let me move some stuff so I can see. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Effective communication. Everyone can communicate, few can connect. With a thumbs up or a hand up, how many people have read John Maxwell's book, Everyone Can Communicate and Few Can Connect? If you haven't, go grab it. There's no better time right now to read that book. Connection, gang, is the most important part when building this relationship. And to be a great salesperson, you have to effectively communicate through connection. Confidence. I put not ego. There's a big difference. What type of confidence do you have and how do you know you have it? That is time on task, guys. Time on task beats talent every time. We've heard that from Gary. We've heard that from many people, though you have to have the confidence to go out there and understand what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how you're doing it. Flexibility. It's important to be able to go with the flow. Right now, we're all flexible. We have to be flexible. Interest rates are going crazy. They're going up, they're going down. Mostly they're going up. We've got to be flexible with that. Optimism. Now, I put this here, not rose-colored glasses, simply optimistic outlook that the deal will get closed, right? If we go back to effectively communicating, you can be optimistic with every deal as it relates to having clear and concise communication. Okay, clear and concise communication in the optimism space. Pause for a second. So I was talking to a client the other day and we were talking about referrals. And I asked, how many referrals have they received in the last month? And they said, no, none. I said, how many pendings do you have? And they said 6. I said, congratulations. When was the last time you asked anybody that was pending for a referral? And they said, never. I said, interesting. Here's a system I want you to create. As soon as a listing goes pending, I want you to let Johnny Seller know that you're going to call them every Friday at 12:30 and give them an update on the progress of their closing. And at the same time, at the end of the conversation, I want you to set the expectation that you will ask for a referral and say, is that okay? And they said, sure. Guess what? That person did that and he got 2 referrals as those deals were closing. That was, and again, just threw it in there. I say that in the optimism space because you have to capitalize when things are good. Time management. There's no such thing as time management, gang. It is you management, right? It is you management. It's Barb management. It's Michelle management. It's Caroline management. I'm just saying your guys' name because I can see you. How well are you managing yourself so that it is aligned with your goals? Public speaking. Do you know how, when, and what to say? Get into understanding your speech patterns. A couple things that I would say in that space is, what is your transition word? Has anybody ever paid attention to the transition word? Some people say, Some people say, you know what I mean? Some people say, I don't know what they say. Pay attention to your speaking abilities. Integrity, that goes without saying, you have to have integrity. And again, the last essential skill is growth mindedness. All right, so how are we doing here? These feel good? Y'all have these? Because now we're going to go into an internal time here. I want you to answer this question. So based on the definition of a salesperson, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? How close are you to that definition? I know some of you typed in that you are a salesperson. How close are you to that definition? 1, it's not even close to me. 10, yep, that's 100% me. The second question, of the 8 listed traits of a salesperson, which one represents your greatest strength and which one is your greatest opportunity for growth? I'll go back to the slides and we can go look at those. So here, I'll do that right now. Here are the 8. So which one is most like you and which one is least like you? Where's your greatest opportunity? Okay, we keep going here. The last question, same question up above, of the 11 sales skills every salesperson should have. So which one represents your greatest strength and which one represents your greatest opportunity for growth? Go ahead, check them out. Which one is most like you and which one is your greatest opportunity for growth? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just, anyone can unmute themselves right now and share with me a thought process, an aha, share with me something that you want to work on and become better at, even if you are a business person, but you saw something here on the salesperson side. Share anything, please.
For me, I think it's optimism. that I need to get better on.
Yeah, tell me more about being more optimistic.
I think I think of myself as very realistic, and
Mhm.
optimism doesn't always come easily for me. So that's something I need to train my brain to do better.
Perfect. Got it. Thanks for sharing that. I can't see who was talking, but thank you for talking, whoever said that. Who else? Does anybody else want to share?
Time management for me.
Tell me, Michelle, what about time management?
As a new-ish salesperson and striving to be a business person, I struggle with where I should be pouring most of my time in and how to balance the two to be, I guess, successful in both areas.
Love it. Yes. And guess what? You only have one asset in life right now, right? And that is time. You get a hold of that puppy, you can be whatever you want. So that's good. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Okay, let's go to the next ones here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. What defines a good business owner? So gang, we're going to go into some attributes here of business ownership that could be similar to the sales side. However, there are some uniqueness to this that is not in the sales side. So number one, there's 8 of these puppies. Confidence, 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 confidence. When I think of a business owner, I think of an entrepreneur, right? An entrepreneur that goes out and takes a seed and grows it, and they build it from nothing to something. You got to have some confidence, or you might have to have some wires loose to think that you can do some things. However, either one are correct, and go after and get it right. Let's go into being persistent. Oh, there's no better word that I love than being persistent, right? Squeaky wheel gets the oil of whatever. Stay in the lane of being persistent for everything, whatever that is. It doesn't matter. Be persistent. One thing I'll say here real quick about being persistent is a lot of us have a tendency to think that we're persistent, but then we stop in the pursuit of being persistent for fear of what someone else is thinking about us. Guess what? It's none of your damn business what they're thinking about you. Keep doing it, right? Keep going. So I jokingly say to a lot of our clients and to a lot of our coaches is be persistent, because again, you are the one that's going to help that individual. And at the same time, I challenge you to go see how many restraining orders can you get from clients that say, stop bothering me. You're not going to get one. Stay in front of people and be persistent. Okay, let's keep going. Goal-oriented. How many goal-oriented people do we have on this call? I would imagine all of you are goal-oriented because you're here to learn, right? Now, I'm going to challenge you in the goal-oriented space. Are you tracking it, right? As a business owner, it is 100% your responsibility as the goal-oriented driver to track everything. Now, you will find what your true KPIs are as it relates to the business growing and going forward, though you have to track. Now, I'll pause that from a standpoint of business, and let's go into personal real quick. What about your personal life? Where in your personal life are you goal-oriented? Are you goal-oriented in your health? Are you goal-oriented in relationships? Are you goal-oriented in your wealth building, right? And how do you know? I would answer the question if you asked me, how do you know you're goal-oriented? Are you tracking it, right? Are you tracking? I know today is day 132 out of 275 of me going to the gym and exercising, because for me, health is one of the most important things. Guess what? I track it. Yep, I'm a little psycho with it. I track it because I want to know that I'm moving forward towards the goal. It's one thing to set the goal. It's another thing to track the goal and see if you're on track. Okay, let's go into budget conscious. Woo. Gang, take a deep breath. We're going to talk some numbers for a second. If you're not tracking your numbers, if you're not budget conscious, if you just willy-nilly spend to spend, you are winging it, okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with being a winger, though at the same time, if you are a true good business owner, what does a good business owner strive for? High profit, right? They strive for high profit. And what comes with high profit? A high profit margin, or at least a profit margin, period. And how do you get a profit margin? You know your numbers, right? You have a budget. Now, budgets are also in the revenue space. I have a client that just launched his own brokerage. And he was so budget oriented that we look at it every single week, and he knows to the percentage whether he is on or off track. Okay. Now that goes back to being goal oriented, but it also goes back to budgeting. The fun, if you've read the MREA book, you know there's what's called the red light, green light game. Now, I'm going to stay here in the budget because this is one of my favorite spots. It wasn't in the beginning when I was a business owner because I was afraid of my numbers. I was afraid to look at my numbers. Is anybody else want to be authentic and share that they were afraid to look at their numbers? Anybody else, or was it just me? I mean, I can't see everybody. So we'll type in the chat, afraid, or I'm a cool kid, I won't say anything. Is anybody afraid of their numbers? Anybody? Totally afraid. Love it. Afraid. I hardly ever look. Oh, you guys are the best. Thanks. Okay. So gang, here's what we have to say about numbers and looking at them. They just tell a story. They tell a story about yesterday, right? They tell a story about yesterday's habits. And the cool part about that is, guess what? You can't control yesterday anymore. You can only control today. So don't give yesterday any energy. Learn from yesterday. Learn from your numbers from yesterday and go forward to plan for the budget. Plan for your expenses. Plan for your profit margin. The last thing I'll say in budgets, and we'll move forward, is you better have an ROI number standard. As a good business owner, you know what your ROIs are per line item, right? So for example, if you go spend $1,000, I always say that, will those dollars bring home dollars, right? How many dollars will those dollars, when you deploy those dollars out, how many will they bring home? A standard that I always have tracked for the last umpteen years is at least 3 to 1. Now, an exceptional standard that we have in the ROI, budget conscious, is 6 to 1. Now we know we're really exceeding, and now we know our dollars are truly going out, saying what they need to say, and come back to us. Okay, so be budget conscious there. Thank you all for sharing that numbers scare you as well. You don't need to be scared. It happened yesterday and it's done. Okay, let's go to personable. You don't have to read all this. You can choose to read it if you want to, but personable. Gang, as a good business person, if you aren't personable, that's okay. Go hire someone that is. Okay, your personality, your outwardness is going to either attract or detract. Okay, you want to be able to be the person that your clients, your employees, your team members can chat with, can talk to. Here it is. Having a likable personality doesn't have to mean you are constantly smiling and always perky. Everyone understands that we all have bad days. Being personable means you know how to handle stress, and it won't take a bad day out of you around. It won't take a bad day out on someone around you. There we go. Here's what I always ask clients. Are you an absorber or are you a deflector when it comes to stress? Right? When stress creeps in, what does it do to your personality? Do you go into fake mode? Do you go into hide mode? Do you go into, okay, compartmentalize mode? What do you do as it relates to you showing up and giving 100% of whatever energy you have? Personable. Let's go to number 6, passionate. We have 3 more. Passionate, gang, passionate. You can see there are hearts all over this PowerPoint. And that's on purpose because the name of our company is called the I Love Coaching Company. The love is in there on purpose again, because I'm very passionate about impact, right? Very passionate about impact. 100 million lives, as a matter of fact, that we will impact. We're definitely on track right now. We're all over the United States as it relates to clients, and we're even in New Zealand. We just expanded it to New Zealand, which is really cool. So are you passionate about it? And how do you know you're passionate? I don't know. Here's what I say in the passionate space. You think of your business as your baby, right? You take care of that baby. You want that baby to grow and develop and be the best baby possible, right? I'm passionate about this space because, well, we impact people, right? We impact people's lives. All right, last 2. Adaptable. Can you change? Can you adapt? As the market changes, successful business owners adapt and adjust their business plans and marketing strategies. Develop a flexible attitude or adaptable mindset could help business owners succeed. And I agree. How adaptable are you? Would you all, I know you would all agree. I don't even have to ask a question. You're adaptable right now. The market compared to last year, completely different. The market compared to 2 years ago, completely different. I got in the real estate business in 2002, completely different, right? I bought my first house in, oh gosh, early 2000s. I think I had a 9% interest rate. That was kind of cool back then, right? And here we are now. You have to adapt and change. What's another good example that we've had there in the adaptability? It's just paying attention, right? It's just paying attention that if you are in a linear focus and you're not going the right direction, I love what Gary always says. If you're going down a path and the path ain't working, get off the path and go down a different path, right? You have to be open to change and be willing to be adaptable in the space to be a good business owner. And last, possess leadership skills. A good business owner possesses great leadership skills. Now, if you feel you are a great leader, congratulations. Good job, leader. If you feel that you have opportunity in the leadership space, surround yourself with better leaders, right? Go immerse yourself in a leadership space. Dana and I have for the last 4 or 5 years, actually probably 10 years actually, immersed ourselves in the John Maxwell leadership space. We've gotten to the point where now he is not only our mentor, he's truly a dear friend. And we have both, I'll just speak for myself, gotten better in the leadership space because of that environment, right? Business owners oversee a team of professionals. Strong leadership skills such as delegation, motivation, and communication can help effectively lead their teams, right? So possess leadership skills. Whew. Okay, pausing for a second. That's a lot of talking by me. How are we doing? What are you hearing? Of those 8, what are your takeaways? What feels good or what doesn't feel good? Feel free to unmute yourself and let's just chat. Anybody? I know someone's going to want to talk about numbers, so feel free. Go ahead. Okay, well, we will continue. Let's go to the next one. 5, I put these in here on purpose because of the last one. 5 leadership tools for a business owner. Number 1, I want to share something with you. When you simplify your communication line, so as your business grows, so does the amount of conversations you are having. Okay, so now we're talking about the expansion of your business. I want you to watch this. If this is you, and you bring someone into your organization, such as an admin or a bookkeeper or someone in the space to help you continue to grow, how many lines of communication do we have there? Go ahead and type in the chat. Let's see who my first one to get it right is. Let me see here. Where's my chat? There it is. How many lines of communication do we have here? Good. Yep. Caroline got it right. 2. Ding, 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 ding. Nice job. So we have 2 people and we have 2 lines. Now watch this. If I bring in a third person to have a conversation or to join the team, how many conversations do we now just expand to? So we expanded to 3 people. Watch this, 2, 4, 6. We just went to 6 conversations, but we only added 1 person, conversation lines. If I add a 4th person here, check out the number of conversations that we just had. We added 2 more people, but our lines of communication went to 12. We doubled the number of people on the team, but we more than 6 times the amount of conversations that are going on. 12 lines of communication. Gang, as you build your business, it is so important that you understand how to simplify your lanes of communication. I can't stress that enough. As you build your organization, as you build your leadership space, as you build your departments in your organization, you got to have concise, simplistic conversations, paths. Delegate, delegate, delegate. How many people in here think they can do it the best? Right? Sure, we've all been there before. Though here's what happens. As you build your business, as you get into the leadership space, you've got to learn how to delegate and elevate to grow. Right? Delegate and elevate to grow. And what I mean by elevate is when it gets off of your shoulders, you now get the opportunity to add something else, which will help your business grow even faster. Let's go to predict. One of my favorite. Can you predict short and long term? I'm going to go so far to say long-term, gang, right now only equals 90 days. Our market is forever changing. Number of days on market, inventory, our interest rates, all of the above are forever changing. So can you predict short-term and long-term? Short-term is a day. Long-term is 90 days. Systematize. Does your company have 6 to 10 core processes that you follow? Okay, we're talking business ownership now. Does your business have 6 to 10 core processes that you follow? I'll break this down for you. Super simple. A core process can be, do you have, in your business, do you have an operations side? Do you have a marketing side? Do you have a sales side? Do you have a finance side? Okay, gang, we're talking about business ownership right now, right? So do you have these sides systematized? What is a system? A system is simply this. You might want to write this down. If you have something that happens the same way every single time, build a system around it, right? Build a process around that same soup that's reheated every single day. What could that be, Adam? Pretty simple. Let's say you are in the process of bringing on more revenue providers into your organization, such as a buyer or a seller agent, and you want to train them up, but you want to train them up in a specific way. Don't sit them down and train them. Record that stuff on a Loom, record it on YouTube, record it on something, because if it's the same conversation over and over and over, you don't need to continue to waste your time doing it. You just need to point them into a system of something. And that was a very, very basic example, though understand that system. And lastly, structure. So this guy was I think like a mathematician somewhere. By the way, none of this is mine. This is all from EOS, Traction, the book Traction. Structure. You can't be in a system while at the same time understanding the system you are in. Ooh, when someone read that to me, it smacked me right in the head. You can't be in a system while at the same time understanding the system you are in. Basically what that means, gang, you got to see it from up here. As a business owner, you have to see it up here. As a business owner, I get to be the one that stands up here. This is not an ego space, right? This is truly a business owner space. I get to sit up here so I can see the system as it operates and as it functions. How are we doing so far? We having fun yet? Okay. Okay, now I think we're going to go into a Q&A here from an internal standpoint. I want you to answer yourself this. Based on the definition of a business owner, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is not even like you. 10, that's totally me. Give yourself a number there. And lastly, of the 8 listed characteristics of a business owner, which one represents your greatest strength and your greatest opportunity for growth? We'll go back to those. So here they all are. Confident, persistent, goal-oriented, budget-conscious, personable, passionate, adaptable, and leadership skills. So which one of those represents your greatest strength and greatest opportunity? Okay, so before we go on to the next slide, we are definitely nearing the end here. Unmute yourself, give some feedback, give some ahas, give some thought process, ask questions. All right, I know there's 41 of you on here, 40 minus me. Well, now 39. Someone just got scared. It's always the case. When you say unmute yourself, people just go away. Ideas, thoughts, what are you hearing? What are you going to take away? There's no right or wrong. Share, help people.
I think for me coming onto this, I did not think I had any traits to be a business owner, but hearing you talk about all these things, I feel like I possess a lot of those qualities. So I'm really excited for that.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Who else? And we went really high level today, gang. Really high level. we're going to go into some of the chats here of what you want to accomplish, but I want to just hear some takeaways. What else? Anything?
I'll share. I just think the importance of tracking your numbers and knowing your like where your money's going and what comes back is really important. I think it's really easy for salespeople to just kind of willy-nilly spend money or sign up for this thing or go to this event, but just really honing in on like what is a good investment of your time. Because for me, I'm like so social that I'll sign up for every event and I'll go everywhere. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, wait, I didn't, I was with clients all day and I was networking and I didn't actually do any of like the nitty gritty business work. And that's what I find like hard to do. So just realizing that that's a big piece of it. And if you can't find yourself doing it, to be able to leverage that is huge. Yeah.
Great. Whoever said I can't see. Thank you for sharing that, because I want you guys to realize in the number space, it's, let me not generalize here. From experience, P&Ls and balance sheets and or any kind of financial statements from that standpoint, as I've dealt in the entrepreneurial space for a long time, it's not our strength, right? It's not something that I actually love it now because I love watching the numbers. Though at the same time, when I started this 20 plus years ago, I was like, yeah, no, I would never play in the numbers. Hire someone. Go get you a bookkeeper. 2004, 2005. I was so fed up with the coach that I had because they kept pushing for a P&L. I was like, I don't know how to do a P&L. And he said, well, you better go figure it out. Otherwise we're done coaching. I was like, okay, that's harsh. So I went on at the time, Craigslist, and said bookkeeper. I just found a bookkeeper and I found a bookkeeper, and that bookkeeper has been with me to this day. Okay. So, and she handles all of my stuff. What is today? Today's Wednesday. We just had our call. We have it once a month. And she handles all of the businesses, all the corporations. She runs all the P&Ls. I think we have 8 of them that run. And we look at them every single month. And I see them ahead of time. But the point I'm sharing here, someone said leverage it out. If it's not something you like to do, go leverage it out. Bookkeepers are not expensive. Okay, anything else that you want to share? Anything. Okay, I want to go into the chat here real quick. So we had a few. Higher leverage in a shifting market. Lisa, that was you. What tell me more about that, Lisa. Hiring leverage in a shifting market, please.
Yeah. So I was a former team leader of a market center, and then I went into productivity coaching, and I recently stepped out of it into sales again back in March of 2022. And I immediately I got 10 under contracts, and I have several listings and a pipeline. Right. And I'm like, okay, this is still very new to me. And yet keeping the momentum going and taking that step of hiring a transaction coordinator and really someone to do my marketing and my listings and concierge services at a high level. Mm-hmm. And it's, you watch interest rates like skyrocket overnight, and you're like, what's it gonna look like in the next 6 months, 12 months? Do I hire someone, or do I really focus on keeping my budget, keeping my ROI, my profit margin higher? And do I leverage 2 people? Do I hire 1 person? What's the right decision with so many unknowns about what the next brings in our industry?
Yeah. So thank you for all that. Formalize that into a question.
Great question. Wow. Is now a good time to hire leverage? And do you hire 1 person to leverage, or do you go all in on like potentially 2 people and really honing in on lead generation and lead follow-up at a high level? Like how much is enough and how much would be too much right now?
Perfect. So Lisa, stay with me for a second. Can I ask you some questions?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is going to be great for everybody. Lisa, are you on track to hit your goals?
Yeah. In fact, I just raised my goals for the year. Yep.
Are you on track to hit the raised goal?
Yes.
Gotcha. And based on the capacity of work that you have in your business and achieving that goal, can you do it?
No.
Perfect. Okay. So what I would suggest, if you were in a coaching call, I'd keep my coaching hat on and we'd go into your P&L. And
Yep.
we look at the resources available. When I say resources, I'm talking dollars and cents, right? And the dollars and cents based on the P&L will tell you who, what, where, when, and how you can hire.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to arbitrarily look at this and say, gosh, should I or should I not? Your P&L will tell you.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, at the same time, I just got off a coaching call with somebody and they got off and they said, hey, is it okay to end a coaching call by saying F you? And I said, sure, that means I did my job, right? Because they were not happy with me. And here's why they weren't happy with me. It's simply because of this leverage space. Gang, we should be watching our numbers right now. And the number you should be focusing on is revenue. Okay.
Mhm.
Revenue, revenue, revenue. And here's why. The more revenue you take right now, that is market share. The more market share you take right now, you ain't giving it up when the market turns back around, right? So Lisa, back to the question. If I'm sitting in your shoes, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to expand my business, which I'm doing right now, and I love coaching. And I'm going to go find more revenue producers,
Mhm.
right? Because I want the revenue producers to come into my ecosystem and I can lead them up to their next level of success. And guess what? Their revenue that they're bringing into the company will never give back again.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm sprinting towards is I'm going to go find my admin. So my administrative team, my operations team, so that my experience when you're in our ecosystem is one you'll never forget. And I'm going to go explode my revenue increasing opportunity.
That was exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you.
Done. Okay. Thanks, Lisa, for playing. Kendra, are you still on here? Systems for staying consistent. She's still on here? Shoot. First time caller, long time listener, and she's not there. All right, here we go. So systems for staying consistent, guys. I'm not really sure what that means. Systems for staying consistent. My answer to just seeing that would be tracking. Right? What are you tracking? What are you tracking as it relates to staying consistent? And where does it live? Where does your tracking live? Can you see it? For example, and this is a silly one, but it's a purposeful one for me. My goals live right here on my screen on my phone. So when I pick it up, there it is. And there's my vision board right there. It's on my screen. So I literally see it every time I pick up my phone. Guess how many times we pick up our phone a day? I have no idea. I've never tracked it, but I guarantee you it's a ton. And I see these goals every single time. Patty, I see you're on here. What defines a good business owner? Patty, I think we might have answered that. If we didn't, Patty, jump out here and see if we did.
Oh, yes, you did answer that. Thank you.
Excellent. My pleasure. Ooh, this is a good one. How to structure my day. Amber, is that you, Amber Allen? You on here? Ooh, she's gone. I think we should answer that one though. Are y'all okay with? Oh, she's there. I think I heard her.
Hi.
Hi. I've always wanted to be a radio DJ. And this is kind of what it feels like right now. This is kind of fun. So Amber, you're there. Thanks for calling in. No. So you want to structure your day. Tell me more about that.
So I feel like even if we have some sort of schedule mapped out or our days planned out, they change all the time and it's hard to keep consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when I'm busy, I'm very on point and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm not busy, I feel like mornings I flounder with structure.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay. So bring me a question.
So how do I structure my days and mornings better with consistency?
Gotcha. Curious. Do you have a very well-defined vision statement?
No.
Gotcha. Do you have a vision statement?
No.
Gotcha. Okay. So I would start there, Amber, start with the vision statement. Do you have goals?
Yes.
Gotcha. Are you committed to the goals?
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and the most committed that you would do whatever it takes to achieve those goals. Where are you? And there's no attachment to the outcome here. If you say a 5, there's no judgment. What do you think?
Maybe an 8.
Okay, got it. So to answer your question based on the structure, get to a 10 somewhere and then align your calendar with it. Okay. Because when you're at a 10, have you ever been at a 10 of something and you knew you were going to accomplish it and you actually did?
Yes.
And was that pretty much the only thing that was on your mind and your focus?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would imagine even if you didn't calendar, it was the focal point in your head to get, excuse the language, shit done for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing here. Go find the goals that you are 100% or a 10 attached to, and then make sure your calendar aligns with those goals.
Okay, good.
And the last thing I would say to that, which is our favorite word, it starts with an A, is accountability, right?
Yeah.
Go find who's around you that will hold your butt accountable to whatever you need.
Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. Thank you.
My pleasure. Caroline, we got delegating here. We still got time. Perfect. Caroline, what's up in the delegating space?
Well, I have an assistant and I don't feel like I'm using her time. I have a hard time delegating because sometimes it's just easier and faster to do it myself. I mean, how many times have you heard that? Right. So,
Sure.
you know, so I find myself going, okay, I have to delegate, and then sitting down and delegating, but then it's not a consistent delegating. So finding that, I don't know how to say it, but finding that balance or consistency with delegating things to her. I feel like I'm having to feed her what to do.
Mm.
And maybe it is that I need a system
Mhm.
for her to follow. I'm not sure what it is, but I definitely need to utilize her more. And I need to get off of I'm the only person that can do this.
Mhm.
You know, and it's
Yep.
just like going through a transaction, right? With, you know, sometimes it's just easier if it's 9 to 10 o'clock at night. You know, the other night I had to make myself not fill out the transaction detail sheet. You know, I said, no, Leisha can do it in the morning, but normally I just go ahead and do it.
So Caroline, bring us a question.
I know, I was thinking about that because I knew you were going to ask me that. And so the only thing I can think is, how can I consistently delegate to my admin?
Gotcha. Can I help you with the question?
Yes.
Okay, put a what in front of it. So ask that question again.
What can I consistently delegate to my admin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever asked yourself that question consistently?
No, I've not done the consistent.
Okay,
And
perfect.
so
So
yeah.
Here's what I would suggest with that is tell your admin what you're going to delegate to them, and then have them hold you accountable to it. Have them hold you accountable to it so that if you decide that you're going to do something that is on the delegated list, you'll double their pay.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Do
That's fair.
reverse accountability here, because here's what's happening. You're lowering your dollar productivity per hour
Yes.
by doing whatever you're doing, right? Your job as, again, I don't know, Caroline, who, what, where, when you are, but if you're a rainmaker, if you've got a team, or if you've got a person on your team,
I do.
your job is of the high dollar productivity per hour. If you don't know your dollar productivity per hour, that's cool. Go figure it out. And then as you are doing whatever menial task that should be delegated, give her that money, because that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're doing her job. So go ahead and just pay her
That's some
twice.
serious accountability.
Yeah. And that's where it's
I
going to
love it.
live, right? Because again,
Yes.
we all are like this. I'm totally like this too, though at the same time, your job is to grow.
Yes.
Right. And by doing an 80%er, you're getting sucked into the black hole whirlwind, and you can't afford to do that right now.
Right.
Yep.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. Here's what I want to do. Do we have another one here? Oh, hold on. I need to bring Jamie to this. And this is a great question. What is the one thing I need to quit doing to be more like an entrepreneur? Jamie, please tell me you're on here. Oh, no. Jamie. Oh, she's gone. Oh, Jamie, you would have won the car, but you're gone.
No,
Okay.
I'm here. I'm
She's
here.
there. Yes.
Sorry, I'm sick though, so I can't.
That's
hardly
okay.
talk.
You can't get us sick through Zoom, so be sick. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. So Jamie, tell us, what is the one thing I need to quit doing to be more like an entrepreneur? Help me understand that question. What does that mean?
Well, I guess it's like we know we're all doing things in our business that we probably need to delegate. I think you've kind of addressed some of it already, really. But I didn't know if there was even one other glaring thing that you had an idea about that we need to definitely push off our plate.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day is you have to understand what hat are you wearing, right? Where are you in your structure, in your organization? Is there one of these departments that you're chairing? Is there a department that you've offloaded, but yet you're still in it, right? If you want to be a business owner. Now, I'm going to help you with your question here, guys. I want to give some definition here. We've got time. An entrepreneur, if you really look at an entrepreneur, what's an entrepreneur do? They start a lot of shit. They start a lot of stuff that they don't finish, right?
Yeah,
they don't finish it.
Yeah.
So we as entrepreneurs need to understand what we're starting, create the vision and goals. Those are two separate things, guys. Create the vision, our vision to empower coaches to change 100 million lives by using our real coaching model, right? That's our vision statement. Our goals to be at 1,000 clients within the next 12 months. Those are our goals. So our entrepreneurial focus is to be here and to complete that, okay? And everything in the middle, whatever stops you from completing that is you're being an entrepreneur. So be a business owner, not an entrepreneur. That's what I'd suggest there. Okay, very good. Let's keep rolling here. Jamie, thanks for that. And I hope you feel better. Feel better. Yes. Okay, so here's the last question.
Thank you.
Who are you? Are you raising your hand to be a salesperson or a business owner? By the way, there was an emoji right there, and I guess it didn't transfer over. Are you raising your hand to be a salesperson or a business owner? This was us at our last whole life planning summit last November. We had fun people from all over the place. And so that was that picture. And I simply just want to say thank you to all of you. If you want to come follow us, here we are. We're ilovecoachingco.com everywhere. That's on Instagram. There's our email address. There's our website. And click this URL. There's a surprise there for you. Click that URL. Come play with us there. I'm sorry, that QR code. That's a URL. Click the QR code and come play with us. And outside of that, everybody, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. And thank you for allowing me to come play with y'all today. Thank you all.
Thank
Have
you.
fun. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thanks, guys.